Gabriel McSharry, nutritionist and medical herbalist. A safe and effective approach to your health condition. Call the clinic on 071 9142 940.
Okay, it's 8 minutes after 11. I'm now joined on the line by Mr. Gabriel McSharry. And for those two people who don't know, Gabriel is a nutritionist. He's also a medical herbalist. And he's based in Calry in County Sligo. If you'd like to check out his website, it all starts with 3 W's and don't forget the dot now. It's westernherbalmedicine.com. All right. And Gabriel also has a weekly column in the Community Life section of the Western People. That's the small paper that comes with the Western. Nice little read. And Gabriel would have a column in that every Tuesday. And dealing with, obviously, natural health, which we all like to know about. And this week in it, the heading was Dirtying Up Our Diets. How do we do this, Gabriel?
Good morning, Johnny.
Good morning.
No, I guess the basis of it was there's a big increase in recent decades in allergies and autoimmune disease. And it's at least partially attributed to our lack of exposure to microorganisms that once covered our food and us. So, say your average farmer's market in the past, a head of lettuce and a bunch of carrots, generally of yesteryear, were awash with various microorganisms, and no one even considered it to be a problem. And I guess the potential pathogenic and benign organisms associated with dirt and soil that once covered every aspect of our pre-industrial day guaranteed a time-honoured co-evolutionary process that established kind of normal background levels or normal exposure to bacteria and virus and fungus that our bodies used to become programmed to. And because, I guess, of recent years and this obsession with sterilization, it's really changed all that. So for nearly all of human history in general, it begins with maternal transmission of beneficial microbes during the passage through the birth canal. So it starts at the start, from mother to child. And that's changed a bit, cesarean sections now, there's a potential loss of microbiota from one generation to the next. But generally that's just from the start. But this is more, in my opinion, the worst part of it all is the food. The sterilization and the pasteurization and the constant antibacterial use for surrounding food today.
Maybe we're getting a bit obsessed with it because sometimes, you'd be driving down the street and you'd see this van put up outside a shop, maybe outside a restaurant or a hotel, and they would be delivering the vegetables to the hotel and they would all come pre-packed and washed and, no dirt on them.
Sure, and I think there's no doubt, though, that general hygiene is important, but we've gone way too far. And while these improvements in hygiene and sanitation deserve applause, they've inadvertently given rise to a set of truly human-made disease. And this is what the research is saying. So there's a thing called the hygiene hypothesis, and the theory that early exposure to dirt and germs programs your immune system to properly identify and countermand threats has been gaining slow but steady support over the past decade or so in the literature. And according to this theory, if you're healthy, exposure to bacteria and viruses can serve as a kind of a natural vaccine that strengthens your immune system and provides long-lasting immunity against disease. So, you're not meant to exist in a bubble, isolated from life. Yeah. You're designed to spend time outside, play in the dirt and the soil, be active and to get dirty and to encounter and develop lasting immunity against potential infectious agents. And this would seem like common sense, really, but in today's world of obsessive sterilization and savvy marketing, many have been brainwashed into treating dirt as the enemy number one, to be eliminated at any cost. And, there's an antibacterial solution for every area of life, and if you're not wiping down your counters and cleaning your hands with antibacterial soap, you're taking antibiotics, and they're grossly overused as well.
That's very true.
And they're overused in farming as well. So, it's put it this way, it's becoming a bigger problem, because it's becoming more apparent now, as scientists look into this, that there's a very strong link between this behaviour and the doubling, tripling, and actually quadrupling of allergies and autoimmune disease.
So, Gabriel, I think, the advice here would be I suppose there's nothing wrong with going to the country markets and picking up some organic carrots and whatever.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely support local markets, and organic is definitely best because it won't have pesticides and chemicals. But, get them, and it's not that you have to eat them dirty or anything. I mean, right now, to be honest, our immune systems wouldn't be able for this massive onslaught of dirt. I think you'd have to ease yourself into it, but not to be so obsessive with hygiene per se. Definitely wash them, but especially if they're not organic, wash them, because you're getting off some chemicals. But not to be too obsessed about it, and definitely don't be within the home and your environment. Don't be overusing antibacterial hand soaps and sanitation chemicals and bleaches, and really roll back on all this stuff. It's damaging your immune system,
and it can become an obsession, can't it?
Well, it can in some, but I think that's a different condition altogether. But people get afraid, and every now and then, every few years, there's epidemics sweeping through the world, so we're led to believe, and people become fearful. They start really over cleaning and over compensating, and all these practices are important. Again, as I say, I think general hygiene is important, but just be careful of the chemicals, the antibacterials and the antimicrobials that are nearly in everything now, in all household products, and we've just taken it too far.
How did people, Gabriel, manage years ago, before the ads were on the black and white TV saying, "Hi, buy this product, it kills 99.9% of blah, 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 blah." I mean, years ago, people weren't able to buy these things, and they got on quite well, and the food that they ate had some dirt on it, and they were quite healthy.
That's correct. Again, they had a different start in life, just from birth nearly, but definitely their immune systems were programmed early on. This generally, the important period, I think, is when you're a child. In the first 5 to 10 years is definitely the most, specifically the first couple of years, is the very most important period of where your immune system gets programmed. And I mean, we know this in medicine. There's you have a thymus gland, and it's the size of a tennis ball, I think, it's a very big organ when you're a child, but by the time you become an adult, it goes down to the size of an almond. It's because it's so big as a child, it's in charge of programming the immune system, what's foreign and what's a potential threat, distinguishing that from what's normal and what's natural in the environment and what's not a threat to one's health. That's what the thymus does. And so the early years are extremely important. And, it's important. You see kids that throw everything into the mouth, and that's very much them programming their immune system. It's normal for them to get exposed to soil and dirt and sand and grass and whatever. I think we really should get back to a place where we don't overuse all these chemicals to kind of kill out microorganisms, because we should really just start learning to live in synergy with microorganisms, bacteria, virus, fungi, because it's the wrong approach, that this constant war on the germ. It's just not natural.
You know, sometimes if you go into a supermarket, you see sometimes some of our supermarkets would have some organic produce there, and we say if we'd seen 2 bunches of carrots there, one dirty and the other one clean, there are a lot of people out there, not all, there are a lot of people out there that would go for the ones that are washed because they say, oh, that's one less job.
Yeah, sure. Look, I understand that, and just not to confuse the point between the dirty ones and the organic. Organic is a class that wouldn't have chemicals and stuff, and it's definitely superior. Some of them, I think, leave the dirt on now, especially in the markets, because people may be looking for more dirty ones, or whatever.
Correct, yeah.
But washed organic are definitely as good, They're definitely take it, because I think you should wash them when you get them home as well.
Yeah,
Definitely not to be sterilising them. I mean, there's a whole list of criteria that if you do provide fresh produce to a supermarket that you have to adhere to, and I can kind of understand that, but we've just gone away too far.
Okay. All right. In this article, Dirtying Up Our Diets, if people who want to read more about it, it is in the Community Life section of the Western People, which is out every Tuesday. And you do know that Gabriel is a nutritionist, and he's a medical herbalist based in Calgary, in County Sligo, westernherbalmedicine.com. Busy times at the moment, Gabriel?
Well, it's coming into a period where all the kids go back to school. There's generally a steep rise in, colds and flus in the next month or 2. Days are getting colder, as you know. Days are getting shorter. And it's a time generally where there is a bit of a spike, or where it gets a bit busy, specific to colds and flus.
Okay. And if there are people listening to us today that have a cold or a flu or any other condition, and they, rather than going with conventional medicine, if they want to find out more about herbal medicine, I suppose the best thing to give you a call. I'll give out your number shortly, Gabriel. And as always, thank you so much.
Thank you, Johnny.
That's Gabriel McSharry there in Sligo. That's it. Sometimes the antibiotics may not be working for you, and you're saying, I'm sick of taking these antibiotics. They give me a pain in the stomach and I'm feeling sick all the time and that type of thing. All right then. And I suppose maybe if you talk to your GP first and ask him, what does he think about using herbal medicine? And I suppose maybe he just say, we'll stick to the conventional stuff and we'll see how we get on. But anyways, if you want to go down that line yourself, it works for a lot of people. It's natural. And I suppose the best thing to do is give Gabriel a call. Maybe any questions. There's no charge to ask a question over the phone. And maybe there's something that's concerning you, and that you heard that this herb or the other herb is good for this particular condition. And Gabriel's number is 071, obviously the prefix for Sligo, 071 914 2940, 071 914 2940. And thanks to Gabriel. Gabriel joins me on the programme every week.
Gabriel McSharry, nutritionist and medical herbalist. A safe and effective approach to your health condition. Call the clinic on 071 9142 940.